Hello lovelies, today we are taking a look at Shalom Sesame. It's Passover Grover, which is kind of a different version of Sesame Street. This is the first and only time I've ever watched it, but obviously I have been studying the Passover as well as the Seder, and this particular program caught my interest. So it's really runs no differently from a regular Sesame Street program. So the main or the intermittent story is the one that I was focused on here. So we have an elderly woman as well as a young lady and two Muppet characters, and I didn't catch their names, sorry, but it opens where they're going over their favorite part of Passover, whether it's the matzah, the telling of the Passover story. They also kind of do a review of various items associated with Seder, and it's in the middle of this conversation that the elderly woman realizes that she does not have any horseradish or the moror, the bitter herb. So this sets off the task of trying to find some. So first, traveling over to a neighbor or a friend's home, they find out that she had given her last bit of horseradish away to a character named Moisha, which is very similar to Oscar the Grouch. They live in a trash can. They do tend to be kind of moody, and he just will not give up the horseradish, which he's within his rights. He got it fair and square. That's his. And the young lady dresses up as a stinky cheese, and this is how she convinces him to bring the horseradish or let them have it, is that, well, if a stinky cheese is attending the Seder, then he should be more than welcomed. So of course, long story short, that is how they wind up getting their moror. And basically what Seder is, it is a ritual dinner held the first 1 to 2 nights of Passover. It's a pretty fun educational program. It still has the same charm as Sesame Street, so it manages to be educational and entertaining at the same time. You have these cute little funny moments dispersed throughout the show as well. Kind of one of the engaging ways they try to teach you about the Seder is, of course, the characters mention their favorite parts of Passover. So whether it's taking turns reading passages from the Haggadah or the story of Passover, the liberation of the Hebrew people from Egypt, or just kind of like searching for the matzah, which to my understanding is kind of a game that's played with children. I'm not quite sure if it's the leaven or the matzah itself that is hidden within the home, but they kind of go on a little scavenger hunt trying to find this. And there are other segments included in the program as well. So whether it's children talking about Passover traditions or discussion of the Hebrew calendar, which makes perfect sense. I mean, especially when you talk about any sort of holiday, it makes sense to educate and say, well, in X month, such and such is celebrated. So if we go over the Hebrew calendar, and we also discuss items associated with Passover. So for example, in addition to the horseradish or the bitter herb, there it is a roasted hard-boiled egg, a lamb shank, not consumed by children, but wine is also included. There is also a musical number about the search for the hidden matzah, which I mentioned earlier. It's just kind of to my understanding, sort of like a game that's played with children. And then, of course, we also kind of have reference to, I guess, a question or a version of the 4 questions correction. So, for example, why is matzah eaten the unleavened bread? Why is maror eaten the bitter herbs? Why is roasted meat eaten? Why is food dipped twice? So it's either dipped in some sort of like a wine or a saltwater solution, to my understanding. So I still have a lot of studying to go in order to fully understand this, but this this episode is a good icebreaker, also just great for educational purposes for children, teaching them about culture and tradition, which is what I've been focusing on here, is just kind of trying to learn about a specific ritual. But once again, as always stated, I'm still learning. I still have a lot to really comprehend and understand, but to those of you who do practice, I apologize if I accidentally offended anyone, but I do kindly ask that if you feel the need to, please educate me or send me some other sort of reference so that I could gain better knowledge or understanding of the Seder or the Passover. But that is all I have for you guys for today, and I will talk to you later.